the cut section of adrenal gland, transverse section, you can see it has capsule. This is macroscopic feature, cortex, okay, and then medulla. This is a macroscopic feature. Now this is a microscopic feature. So this is a capsule, you can see capsule, and then cortex, and cortex can be divided into three zones. Three zones, that is zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, and zona reticularis. Okay, reticularis. So better to, there is a mnemonic GFR. Okay, you know GFR, glomerular filtration rate. That mnemonic also works here. GFR. G means zona glomerulosa. F means fasciculata. R means reticularis. So remember GFR. Okay. Once you remember, then when you can understand this sequence of layer of cortex: glomerulosa, fasciculata, reticularis. Okay. Are three layers, and then the medulla is inside. Okay, medulla is inside. So function of these layers are different. So I'll just say that glomerulosa secretes aldosterone, mineral corticoid, reticularis secretes, fasciculata secretes glucocorticoid, reticularis androgens, and medulla secretes catecholamines. Okay, so just for remember, just this is a concept. Just I am giving you the concept. Okay, so this is the structure. Once you better, because it is most important to know the structure, then only you can find the function. Okay, so this is the structure. Then, so where this medulla is there? Where is medulla? Where is this adrenal gland situated in our body? It is situated in the top of the kidney, both kidneys, top, as a hat. Okay, as a hat. This is adrenal gland. Okay, this is kidney, and there is both kidneys. Now there is a so localization. The top of the kidney and weighing approximately 5 grams each. One adrenal gland weighs about 5 grams. Okay? Each adrenal gland is composed of 2 endocrine components: medulla, inner part, that constitute 20% of the gland, and cortex, outer part, that constitute the remaining 80%. Okay? The cortex consists of 3 zones that I have said already: GFR, glomerulosa, fasciculata, and reticularis. The medulla and each of the zones in the cortex is produce different hormones that serve a variety of functions in your body. Okay, so this is the thing. This is now these are supplies, blood supply also. Okay, left adrenal gland vein, right adrenal gland vein, adrenal arteries. Okay, this is for anatomy people must be knowing. And then this inferior phrenic artery is there, and then inferior vena cava is great. Yeah, this is aorta. Okay, so that's like this is general anatomy, and this is the microscopic anatomy. Okay, so capsule, glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, zona reticularis, and adrenal. Okay, these are the microscopic features. Okay. Now examination sometime in the MBBS you are provided with this cost section. Okay, you have to you identify this pathology or anatomy, histology. Okay, this section. Okay. Then adrenal gland. Just hello. You can't Baruno. Yes, then, so adrenal glands, there are cortical substance, zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, zona mineral. This is very simple diagram, but very important. It gives very important message for you. Okay, very simple diagram. So zona glomerulosa, it secretes. Everybody of all of you know this diagram. Okay, Deepika देखेको छ? Oh, I will ask this. So from zona glomerulosa, what is the hormone secreted? Mineralocorticoid. Mineralocorticoids are, at least you have to tell this, aldosterone and deoxycorticosterone. They are mineralocorticoid. Every and each MMBS. If you don't say in any viva, then I will very okay. So mineralocorticoid, name the mineralocorticoid, aldosterone and deoxycorticosterone. Okay. Glucocorticoid. What are the names of glucocorticoid which is secreted from fasciculata? Cortisol, cortisone, corticosterone. Three names. These three names I will ask. What are the zona reticularis secretes? Sex hormones, testosterone, estradiol. You have to know. This figure is very important. And medullary substance, catecholamines. What are catecholamines? Noradrenaline, norepinephrine, or adrenaline. This diagram you should make in your notebook. Okay, at least the name of the hormones. Okay, each and every person. You know this at least. Then I will go to the structure. So now, because this is biochemistry class, so I will mainly concentrate on the steroid hormone. Okay. So until now we were discussing peptide hormones and amino acid derivatives. Thyroid hormones are amino acid derivatives. Okay. And others, pituitary hormones, we discussed so much. Thyroid, this hypothalamic hormone, and then pancreatic hormone, all of them were peptide hormones. Now today, the steroid, I will begin the steroid. So why steroid hormone? Why it is called steroid? So it contains steroid nucleus. What is steroid nucleus? Now you see, this is a steroid nucleus. You can see the small diagram here. Here, this is a 4 ring. I will ask each and everybody. You write this in your notebook today. Okay, this 4 ring. This is A, B, C, D. Okay, this is a steroid nucleus. A, B. Each and every person write this. A, B, C, D. Now all are hexagonal. Just the 4th one is pentagonal. Okay, D ring is pentagonal. So that's why name of this ring is cyclopentano or a hydrophenanthrin nucleus. Okay, this is a steroid nucleus. So all steroid hormones, glucocorticoid, mineralocorticoid, sex hormones, all contain steroid nucleus. Okay, cholesterol contains steroid nucleus. Bile acid contains steroid nucleus, bile acid also. Okay, so I'll ask. This is because this is biochemistry class. This is something you should know about the structure also. So this is the structure of cholesterol. Now this is a small ring here. I am showing a numbering system here. So everybody should know about this. Everybody should draw in the diagram. This diagram in your notebook. Okay, from the textbook. How to number this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A ring, B ring, C ring, D ring, and there is a side chain. Okay, there is a side chain. It's a side chain of cholesterol. So cholesterol contains 27 carbon atom. I will ask in the viva. Okay, how many carbon atom has cholesterol? Then you have to say in viva. Okay, 27 carbon atom. I will ask in the viva. Nobody can escape from this. So these are the numbering of the carbon atoms, how you have. So now then I am showing here some structure also. Okay, this is biochemistry class, not a physiology or anatomy. So you should know at least cortisol has this structure, corticosterone has this structure, okay, and then aldosterone has this structure. Now aldosterone has, why this aldosterone is named as aldo? Why the aldo comes here? So I will ask in the viva. Say there is aldehyde group here. At 10 position there is aldehyde group. Can see in the aldosterone in the 18th carbon atom, there is, you have to answer in the Viva, the 18th position, there is aldehyde group, CHO group. Can see here. Deepika, देखिएको छ?
sir.
CHO group in the 18th position. That's why the aldosterone, the name is has come from aldosterone, which is a mineral alcotic. By having aldehyde group there, now the property of the compound changes. It becomes mineral alcotic. Okay? Because of that. So I am giving hints, so many important hints that could not be found in any book, textbook. So this is the structure of a cortisol, this is the structure of corticosterone, this is the structure of aldosterone, this is the estradiol, testosterone, progesterone. Okay? So you should know. Now I'll read this. So steroids are derivatives of cholesterol. Everybody knows, should know. Steroid hormones are synthesized and secreted on demand, not stored. Okay, not stored. Okay, there is no vesicles or something to store these hormones. Okay, thyroid hormones are stored in vesicles. Everybody knows. Posterior pituitary hormones are stored in the posterior pituitary gland. Okay, but these thyroid steroid hormones are not stored. Okay, okay, and all steroid hormones have in common the 17 carbon cyclopentano perhydro anandrine ring, that is a steroid nucleus. That's why they are called steroid hormones. Okay? An additional carbon can be added to position 10, 13 or side chain attached to 17. So you can see additional carbon atom somewhere, aldehyde group here, in the mineral alcotic. Okay, you have seen, and this progesterone has this group, okay, acetate group. No, you can see some modification will be there. Cortisol has their COs2H and CO. Okay, methylene group and corticosteroid has this group. Cortisol has this important, and corticosterone also has same group here. Okay, but there is aldehyde group here. The 18th position, aldosterone. Okay, so that's why this steroid hormones and their precursors and metabolites differ in 3 characteristics. Remember, I will ask in the Viva. Steroid hormones, their precursors and their metabolites differ in 3 characteristics. On the number and type of substituted groups, on the number and location of double bonds, on the stereochemical configurations. Okay? So these are the things that chemistry of the steroid, these points are very important. Okay? So substituted group, can say I have said already, aldehyde group somewhere, some acetate group here, okay, like that, OS group here and there. So this is substituted group. Number and location of double bonds, you can see cortisol has a normal double bond, maybe different here. You can see testosterone double bond, estradiol double aromatic ring. Aromatic ring is there. Estrogen has aromatic ring, okay, where testosterone has no aromatic ring. So these are the things. And stereochemical configuration means that is the stereoisomers, okay. So that is, now these 3 points are very important if you want to know very deep, if you want to go deep in the steroid hormones, okay. Remember these 3 points. The secretion of glucocorticoids from the adrenal cortex is related by negative feedback involving the corticosteroid releasing hormone secretion by the hypothalamus. Corticosteroid releasing hormone then acts on the anterior pituitary, stimulate ACTH secretion, which then stimulates the adrenal cortex into the cortisol secretion. This is called hypothalamo-pituitary adrenal axis. Hypothalamo, now we can have an endocrine glands in so many axes. Hypothalamo-pituitary thyroid axis for thyroid hormones, hypothalamo-pituitary adrenal axis for adrenal gland, steroid hormones. Okay, the axis is there. Okay, for feedback regulation and everything. Okay, so regulation and feedback inhibition like that. You have to Now this is the way that you study the endocrine system. Okay, how to read, how to study endocrine system. Okay. Now I am coming to the synthesis. Okay. Sometimes it is asked. Okay, so sometimes it is asked. So many times it has been asked in the university question also. So steroid synthesis is both occurs in mitochondria. I am giving you the hint. Steroid synthesis occurs both in mitochondria and cytosol. Number one, steroid synthesis occurs in both mitochondria and cytosol. Okay, but by sometimes it goes to the inside and comes out again goes inside like that, coming and going inside mitochondria, फिर coming out another reaction, फिर going inside another reaction. This is now this type of reaction is there. Okay, very interesting. Now I am now this diagram I am showing you. Now there is a LDL. This is the source for cholesterol. Okay, the steroid hormones are made from cholesterol. That's why LDL gives the cholesterol. And there is a receptor, and the receptor, the ACTH is the stimulator for steroid hormone synthesis, which comes from, everybody knows it comes from pituitary. Then ACTH binds with the receptor. Then GS protein coupled receptor, adenyl cyclase is stimulated. Then cyclic AMP is the second messenger. Okay. Then protein kinase A is stimulated. Then cholesterol ester broken down into cholesterol, and then it goes to the mitochondria. Okay, then it becomes pregnenolone. Pregnenolone then comes out, then 17-hydroxynol pregnenolone. This diagram is very important. Okay, 17-hydroxypregnenolone in outside, in the cytosol. And then another reaction here, 11-deoxycortisol is formed outside in the cytosol, then it goes inside, see, cortisol. Then there is a reaction, then it comes out. Like that. Okay, so this is a simple diagram for you, simple diagram to understand. Okay, simple diagram. Deepika, देखिएको छ?
sir.
Okay, so now I'll read this. Uptake of cholesterol by the adrenal cortex is mediated by the LDL receptor. Okay, with long-term stimulation of the adrenal cortex by ACTH, the number of LDL receptors increases. Much of the cholesterol in the adrenal cortex is esterified to cholesterol and stored in the cytoplasmic electroplates. Okay. Upon stimulation of adrenal gland by ACTH or cyclic AMP, an ester is activated and free cholesterol is formed by cholesterol esterol hydroxylase. CES means cholesterol esterol hydroxylase. Okay, it's transported in the mitochondria. It is transported in the mitochondria. Okay. So this is now this first step. Then third step, when it reaches to the mitochondria, cholesterol in the mitochondria. Now it is several times asked these synthetic steps in the steroid synthesis. Okay, short answer question. So third step, what happens? Third step, in the mitochondria, a cytochrome P450 side chain cleavage enzyme converts cholesterol to pregnenolone. Okay, now this is pregnenolone. Okay, in the mitochondria, pregnenolone. Okay, then pregnenolone may be converted by dehydrogenase isomerase. The isomerase to progesterone. Okay, progesterone here. Pregnenolone is changed into dehydrogenase isomerase into progesterone. See, the difference is that the hydroxyl group is not there. There keto group. Keto groups comes. So main things I am now. This slide is very important. I have made so very difficultly, and then the very important steps that I am giving you the hints. So there is change from hydroxyl group to the keto group here. You can see. Everybody can see. Deepika, देखिएको छ?
sir.
So the hydroxyl group is now changed into keto group by this dehydrogenase and isomerase enzyme. Okay, the pregnenolone is changed into progesterone. Okay, then this progesterone is again changed into 7-alpha hydroxylase. Okay, now, okay, this keto group is now changed into now again hydroxyl group here, opposite. Here, this is the opposite of that. That keto group is now changed into hydroxyl. Okay. So this is the cholesterol side of flipping is there. So this cholesterol side chain cleavage enzyme change into pregnenolone. This is the initial reaction. Now this reaction is catalyzed by ACTase. This is the stimulated by ACTase. This first step. This is the committed step of steroid synthesis. Cholesterol side chain cleavage enzyme cleave this side chain, that then it becomes pregnenolone, and this small fragment is called isocaproaldehyde. Isocaproaldehyde. Okay, this small fragment is called isocaproaldehyde. Okay, Deepika, राम्रोसँग देखिया छ?
Sir.
Okay. Now I am, because this is biochemistry class, I am giving you the hints of chemical nature, okay, not physiological nature, because my duty is like that. So that's why this now the change in the structure and where it happens like that. So this is important steps, steroid synthesis. Once you know this, you become a very professional, okay, professional clinician. Because once, if you don't understand this, you cannot be a physician, okay. Try to, they are very, okay. Now, in the fifth step, after the synthesis of progesterone, 17-hydroxyprogesterone, okay, 17-hydroxyprogesterone, 21-hydroxylase enzyme. Say 21-hydroxylase can hydroxylate this steroid at the 21 position, resulting in 11-deoxycorticosterone and 11-deoxycorticosterone. Now this you can see here. This progesterone having this, you can see this keto group here. This is 21-hydroxylase. This is 21-hydroxylase enzyme. Changes into 11-deoxycorticosterone. Now this keto group has been changed into hydroxyl group. Again, you can see. Now change of keto group to hydroxyl group to keto group. Now these things happens here. Very important. I am giving very important hints about the study of steroid synthesis. Okay, very interesting also. I am very much interested on this. Okay, this is 21-hydroxylase. Okay, now this changes. Now this keto group is changed into hydroxyl. Another characteristic is that this progesterone can be changed into 7-alpha hydroxyprogesterone. Okay, also, and with 21-hydroxylase enzyme, it is also deoxycortisol also. Okay, again with hydroxyl group, change in hydroxyl. Yeah. So there are in the Harper or say Lippincott, there are okay. You can see here, or Satyanarayan also. You can see these steps are there, but not much. But I am showing very clearly picture. Picture is shown which atom is changed, which functional group is changed here, in what stage. Okay, but this is clearly this better to record my lecture. Okay, at least this lecture. Everybody should record this, my lecture, this figure and all these things, okay, steps. Okay, I recommended this. In the sixth final step, in the synthesis of adrenal mineralocorticoids and the glucocorticoids is mediated by 11-beta hydroxylase. Okay, so many 21 hydroxylase, 11-beta hydroxylase, okay, which also mediates the final step in the synthesis of aldosterone from the deoxyribonucleic and cortisone from the LVN. Okay, now this I am showing you. So Now 11 beta hydroxylase. There is an enzyme called 11 beta hydroxylase which changes deoxycorticosterone into corticosterone. Corticosterone, and see, then 18 beta 11 beta hydroxylase also deoxycortisol into cortisol. There are different paths. There are branches. Branches are now, if you look at the book, there are branches for aldosterone synthesis. There is a branch for glucocorticoid synthesis. There is a branch for sex hormone synthesis. 3 branches are there. Okay. So this is a branch for aldosterone, and this is a branch for cortisol. This is okay. I am showing here. So then what happens? There is the change in this keto, this here. Okay, now you can see here, this hydroxyl group is changed into aldehyde group here. Okay, there is a 18 hydroxylase also here. This is missing here. Which changes 18 hydroxylase? That changes 18 dehydrogenase or something. That changes this OS group into aldehyde group. Now this compound is aldosterone. This compound is aldosterone. And this is this is mineral corticoid branch. This is glucocorticoid branch. So here what happens is that there is change in this structure. Okay. This is cortisol or cortisone. This is glucocorticoid. This is mineral corticoid. Okay. So this is the last step. Okay. Now this is the detailed structure of. So in the micro detail, I am giving you the micro. I have given you the micro detail of this steroid hormone synthesis. This is biochemistry class, not physiology and anatomy, because this steps, every step and hormone. So you should be careful about what changes is going on and what is not what is happening there. All those things that I am giving you everything here. Okay. Deepika, देखेको छ? Okay. Now, so then the 7th step, this 17 has 2 activities. 7 alpha hydroxylase has 2 activities. 17 alpha hydroxylase and that of C17 to lyase capable of breaking of C1720 carbonate bond of 17 alpha hydroxypregnolone or 17 alpha hydroxyprogesterone, yielding dihydroepiandrosterone or estradiol respectively. This is the sex hormone site, third site. So there, then that okay, then 17 alpha hydroxylase steroid, 17 alpha hydroxyl steroid dehydrogenase is converted androstenedione into testosterone. Okay, testosterone. This one. This is third branch, testosterone. Okay. And then what happens? Then then testosterone enzyme P450 aromatase enzyme mediates the aromatization of androgen to estrogen in the gonads. In peripheral target tissue, testosterone can further convert into dihydrotestosterone reductase, 5-alpha reductase. Now I am covering all this. I'll take the lecture on the this reproductive system also, but this is the part of reproductive system. But I am giving you already the secretion of this testosterone and estradiol and estrone. Okay, also here also. Okay, so we'll revise again in that classes also. But this is the synthesis of sex hormone. This is a simple diagram of sex hormone synthesis. Cholesterol, then pregnenolone, progesterone, mineral corticoid synthesized, glucocorticoid synthesized, then DHEA and estrone. androgens are synthesized. Okay, simple diagram. Okay, so now you record my this slides. Okay, you in leisure time you can look. Okay, these all this diagram very important. Now there is a I have this mark this okay position where the changes occurs. Okay, mark the position so that it becomes easy for you to understand. Okay, easy for you to understand. Now summary. This diagram is also very important. Okay. Now at least now this type of writing for examination purpose you don't have to write structure. Okay, just write the name like this in examination. Now I am giving you the hints. Number 1 step, cholesterol side chain cleavage enzyme. Number 2 step, 3-beta hydroxy dehydrogenase step. Number 3, 17-alpha hydroxylase step, lyase step. Number 4, 21-beta hydroxylase step. Number 5, 11-beta hydroxylase step. And number 6, aldosterone synthase. 11-beta, 18 hydroxylase. I have said no, 18 hydroxylase. 18 hydroxylase and 18 oxidase. Yeah. Oh, 18 hydroxylase here. Very informative diagram. This is very informative diagram. Very simple. Now pregnenolone alone. There are 3 axes. I have 3 branches. I have seen. This is for glucocorticoid branch. This is mineralocorticoid branch, which is the longest one, and this is cortisol branch, which is the second longest, and this is the sex hormone branch. Okay, 3 branches are there. Now coming to this first branch, pregnenolone is changed into progesterone. Progesterone is changed into 11-deoxycorticosterone. 11-beta-deoxycorticosterone into corticosterone, and then 18 hydroxylase corticosterone, then aldosterone. Okay. Remember, there is 18 hydroxylase for the aldosterone, not for other. 18. 18 is for aldosterone. Okay. Remember. Now there are other interchange reaction also. Not only there is this downward reaction, but there is side reaction also. Horizontal reaction also there. You can see horizontal reaction. This progesterone can be changed into this also, and this can this can change into this. These are horizontal reaction. These are vertical reaction. There are horizontal pathway and vertical pathway. This system is there in the strike synthesis, not other pathways. Okay, the horizontal system is there. Now 17-hydroxyprogesterone can be changed into androstenedione by 720 lyase. See, this provision is there. This provision is there. Until this. Okay, then there is no horizontal reaction. Once then 21 hydroxylase is acting, then it becomes deoxycortisterone or deoxycortisol. Okay. So this system now, this is the pathway. Yeah, you okay? Confused, na? So now see, start from cholesterol. There is side chain cleavage enzyme. Then next the pregnenolone. Okay. Then this is now there are three axes. One is for aldosterone synthesis, mineralocorticoid synthesis. This axis for glucocorticoid synthesis. This axis, third axis for sex hormone synthesis. Okay. No confusion. There is no confusion. Okay. Then now if you then go to the one axis, pregnenolone, progesterone, 11-deoxycorticosterone, corticosterone, 11-beta 18 hydroxycorticosterone, then aldosterone. One axis. Other axis, 7-hydroxypregnenolone, 70-hydroxyprogesterone, 11-deoxycortisol, cortisol. Second axis. Here DSA, dihydroepiandrosterone, then androstenedione, then testosterone. Then it can make either dihydrotestosterone or estradiol, female sex hormone. So female sex hormone is made from testosterone. Okay, so this is no confusion. Okay, don't worry, there is no confusion. There are horizontal reactions also there. Horizontal, see, vertical reaction and horizontal reactions are possible up to here. Any textbook you can go and read. Okay, but now this is no. There should be no confusion about this. Okay. All right. Now, once synthesis is there, now we come to the function. Now, first we come to the first group that is secreted by zona glomerulosa is mineralocorticoid. Okay, and representative hormone for this mineralocorticoid is aldosterone. Everybody knows about that. Aldosterone. And this aldosterone, what is the function of aldosterone? It promotes sodium reabsorption at the distal convoluted tubules of the kidney, and sodium retention is accompanied by corresponding excretion of potassium, hydrogen ion and ammonium ions. Okay. Aldosterone exerts 90% of the mineralocorticoid activity. Cortisol also have a mineralocorticoid activity, which is 100 for 1 upon 400th time. This potency is very less. It is 100 400 times less that of aldosterone. Okay, very minor cortisol or glucocorticoid cortisol hormone has mineral mineralocorticoid. Very minor action of mineralocorticoid activity. Okay, that's why in Cushing syndrome, because of mineralocorticoid activity, the sodium is retained in the body. In Cushing syndrome also, and there is hypertension because of that. Okay. Now if there is excess aldosterone, okay, if there is excess aldosterone, mineralocorticoid hormone, what happens? It increases tubular hydrogen ion secretion with resultant mild alkalosis, increases transcription of sodium potassium pump, increase the aspiration of apical sodium channels and sodium potassium chloride cotransporter in sweat glands, salivary glands, and during excessive sweat and saliva, and loss of intestinal and epithelial cells. Okay, and there is expansion of extracellular fluid volume. So these are the major action of mineralocorticoid excess. Now there is a tumor called there is a syndrome called Cone syndrome. CONNS. Cone syndrome. Okay. So there is a syndrome called Cone syndrome, where there is a adenoma of this adrenal gland secreting mineralocorticoid. Okay. Mineralocorticoid, and then that. And then so that this is what is so there is, you can see that these features of aldosterone secretion. Okay. Now everybody knows by this time physiology people have given you hints about this renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. The stimuli for renin angiotensin system is decrease in blood pressure. Okay, decrease in blood pressure. Then decreased blood volume. Then juxtaglomerular apparatus in the kidneys, renin is secreted from that juxtaglomerular cells, apparatus cells. That this renin causes angiotensin changes, angiotensin was in 2, angiotensin is in first. Then angiotensin first is changed into angiotensin in second by angiotensin converting enzyme, ACE enzyme. Okay. Then this compound angiotensin second causes arterioles vasoconstriction, cardiovascular control center in medulla oblongata, stimulates hypothalamus, stimulates adrenal cortex to secrete aldosterone, and then arterioles are vasoconstriction will be there. Then there will be increase in blood pressure, cardiovascular control will cause cardiovascular response and increase heart pump, and then hypothalamus they will secrete vasopressin, okay, and thrust will be there, and sodium reabsorption will be there. Then the ultimate result will be increase in blood volume and maintain osmolarity. Okay. Now this low blood pressure will be the low blood pressure will be now controlled. Okay. Control, and now comes to the normal level. There is blood volume is increased and blood pressure is also increased. Okay. This is the main diagram of renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. This one diagram is sufficient for you to understand renin, angiotensin system, aldosterone system. One diagram is sufficient. So now there are four mechanisms of aldosterone secretion. Remember, decreased blood volume, plasma low concentration of sodium, ACTH, increased secretion of ACTH, and atrial natriuretic peptide. Okay, there are four mechanisms. Okay, remember, for examination purpose, remember, four mechanisms for aldosterone secretion: decrease in blood volume, plasma low concentration of sodium, there increased secretion of ACTH, and there is a atrial natriuretic peptide hormone secreted by atrium of heart, which inhibits the activity of zona glomerulosa. Okay, this is the thing. So, number one mechanism is decreasing the blood volume or pressure by renin angiotensin mechanism, kidney release renin, which is converted into, my slide are always flipping this. So, that instigates aldosterone release. Number one mechanism. Number three mechanism, third mechanism, plasma low concentration of sodium and high potassium directly influence the zona glomerular cells. ACTH, any tumor secreting pituitary tumors which secrete ACTH causes a small increase of aldosterone during exercise. Okay, during okay, then atrial natriuretic peptide inhibits activity of zona glomerulosa. Now this is the figure for you. Now this is pituitary kidney renin angiotensin system, pituitary gland, ACTH secretion from heart, atrial natriuretic peptide, and blood pressure. Another is blood pressure. Another is blood pressure. Okay, so these are four mechanisms. Okay. This is the diagram showing this, that I described this here. Okay. So This is about aldosterone. Now, coming to the cortisol, second group of hormone which is secreted by adrenal cortex is cortisol or glucocorticoids. Okay, glucocorticoids. This is the second axis, second pathway. You know that the glucocorticoids are secreted from zona fasciculata. Okay, aldosterone is secreted from zona glomerulosa. Glucocorticoid is secreted from zona fasciculata. So now cortisol has so many functions. Okay, it has effect on glucose metabolism, it has effect on lipid metabolism, it has effect on protein metabolism, and it has effect on water and electrolyte metabolism. It has effect on immune system also. Okay. Now, in the last lecture, I discussed with you about insulin. Insulin has effect on glucose, carbohydrate, lipid, protein, and potassium. Similar things happens with cortisol. Okay, and similar kind of this glucocorticoid has similar type of action, but opposite of that insulin. Now, cortisol is a kind of catabolic hormone, whereas insulin is a anabolic hormone. So insulin helps in the synthetic, whereas glucose has opposite, like catabolic, breaking down. Okay, in some sense, and it has good thing also. Immune system, it has very good thing also. It suppresses immune system also. So that's why now we'll come later, because you detail you have to learn about insulin and glucocorticoid hormones. Okay. Once if you don't know these things, then you will not be a good doctor. It is better to know about the function of glucocorticoid, cortisol, and insulin at least. Okay. If you don't know this, then you will not be a doctor. So I have described this effect on glucose metabolism. Now, glucocorticoid promote gluconeogenesis. Okay, gluconeogenesis. It digests protein and makes glucose, gluconeogenesis. It is a diabetogenic hormone. It causes hyperglycemia. Okay, these hormones work in tandem with insulin from the pancreas to maintain blood glucose levels. Okay, so in lipid, these glucocorticoid hormones increase lipolysis in adipose tissue and reduce synthesis of triglyceride, opposite to that of insulin. Okay. In protein and nucleic acid metabolism, these hormones promote transcription and protein synthesis in liver. They also cause catabolic effects in extrahepatic tissue, results in enhanced degradation of protein. Okay. Now here in the lipid metabolism, I will say I have forgotten in this. I written this. There is redistribution of fat. Okay, redistribution of fat. Now this glucocorticoid hormone, what it does is it redistributes fat, means it collects fat from peripheral tissue and it deposits in the central tissues, central part of the body. Okay, collects fat from peripheral part of the body, not tissue, peripheral part of the body, and collects and deposits in the central part. Okay, in the abdomen, in the neck. That's why there is buffalo hump in Cushing syndrome. Okay, buffalo hump because of that. We'll see the clinical feature of Cushing syndrome because of this redistribution of fat. Redistribution of fat. Okay, in lipid. Then in water and electrolyte balance, because I said already, it has 1 upon 400 times less potent action of mineral corticoid, although it is a very less potent, but it has effect on that. Deficiency. Effect on water and electron metabolism. Deficiency of them causes increased production of ADH, antidiuretic hormone, which can decrease glomerular filtration rate, causing water retention. The body inverse relation between cortisol and vasopressin may account for the monoosmotic change in ABP in patient with disorder of glucocorticoid secretion. Okay. This is the thing. So it has water retention. There is water retention. In immune system, cortisol suppresses the immune response directly and indirectly by affecting more cells that participate in immune reaction and inflammatory reactions. Okay? Lymphocytes, B lymphocytes, T lymphocytes, all. So you can write an essay on the biochemical action of cortisol. You can write an essay, okay, after about 2, 3, 4 pages. Effect on glucose metabolism, effect on lipid metabolism, effect on protein and nucleic acid, effect on water and electron metabolism, effect on immune system. Then others are there, still other there. The immune system, this is one of the reasons why strong corticosteroid, prednisolone are used in the inflammatory disease like autoimmune disease, like rheumatoid arthritis. BAT, we call it BAT or something called rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, we give prednisolone. Okay, because to combat autoimmune disease. Now, glucocorticoid has effect on cardiovascular system also. Glucocorticoid has effect on central nervous system also. Okay, in cardiovascular system, cortisol, just by rolling. On cardiovascular system, cortisol could control the contraction of the walls of the mid-sized arteries in increasing blood pressure. But this hypertensive effect is moderated by calcium and magnesium. It also directly affects the heart by regulating sodium and potassium in the heart cells and increasing the strength of contraction of the heart muscle. This has been recently studied, okay? Recently studied. Now it has effect on the cardiovascular system also. And in central nervous system, CNS, the changes of behavior, mood, and decreased memory, this has been seen. A lot of people have done research on this. Whether any person taking steroid drug, the people have done so many research and then they have done in cardiovascular system, effect on cardiovascular system, effect on central nervous system, and they have found that there is people taking corticosteroid drugs, especially cortisol, glucocorticoid, they change the behavior of these patients is changed, mood is also changed, and they have less capacity of memory. Okay, this finding has been found. Okay, and these occur because the brain is affected by both too little and too much cortisol. Okay, this is now the people say like that. These are recent findings. So I said you can write a essay. Okay, write an essay on function of. You can write it. Okay, this is homework. Okay, homework for you. Write an essay on insulin action. Number 1 question, and another is write an essay on glucocorticoid function. action of glucocorticoid in our body. 2, okay, I will ask when you come to the college whether you have written or not that essay. So write an essay on this, okay, two topics. Essay on insulin function and essay on glucocorticoid function. Okay? Deepika, सुन्नेको छ? Okay. So all of you write the essay, okay, on that at your home, in your notebook. Now this is very important for throughout your life. Okay, throughout your life. Once you know these things, then it's very, very important for you, okay, for medical people. You should at least know the function of insulin and glucocorticoid. Okay? Very, very important. These basic things. These are very basic things. So by this, I'll go on from tomorrow. I will discuss on the steroid. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is holiday. So on Sunday, I will discuss about steroid transport. How steroids are transported in the blood. There are binding proteins. They are called corticosteroid binding globulins. Okay, they bind it. And for sex hormone also, there are binding globulins. Okay. So this is a combined class of reproductive system also. I am now, because I have a responsibility to take a reproductive system as well.